Yay. This tripod, in case you didn't know, is like the best new toy in the world. It's the only thing my kids want to play with. Drives me nuts. You ready for some strength? I'm ready for some strength. But first, I want to tell you a real quick story. There was a question asked in the Facebook group from my heart rate monthly plan. Somebody said, "Why is this workout that you have us do so frequently called a stride sandwich?" And it's an interesting story, but this is one of the reasons why I have Twitch. It is just too long to write out and too stupid, but like nothing is going to stop me from saying it face to face. Yay! So, I'm Southern. It might not sound like it so much unless I've been drinking or I'm real pissed off, but I am from rural Tennessee. And there is this proclivity in speech from people in the rural South, especially old people. It's more common. The older the person, the more likely it is this to happen. And it's usually someone that's like a deacon in the church, that elder you gotta be nice to, and my ears would just cringe whenever they would speak, because you get this, what I call the deacon R. I'm sure linguistically there's a name for it, and I don't really care. In my brain, this is forever known as the deacon R. And it's that R that slides into words that does not belong there. It's like, it's one thing in the English language to have like GH that makes a sound that is like actually silent. They like cancel each other out and crazy shit like that. But it is another thing entirely to just go sticking letters in words willy-nilly. Woo! I'm like, gosh, I think that's part of the reason why I'm so profane. Like, I'm just gonna stick some profanity in there. It's less offensive to my ears than the deacon R. And this is what the deacon R is. Romania. I'm sorry, what country did you just adopt a child from? Romania. I don't know what that is. Mary Catherine, I just can't believe you're going to college so far away. I mean, DC is just like, it's a 14-hour drive, it's a 2-hour flight, that's no big deal. Washington feels like the end of the world. Where? I don't know where that is. Show me on the map. Washington. So yeah, it's when that R gets stuck in words here and there, it drives me insane. So I told you that story so that this story would make sense. Fast forward, I'm living my best life as a grown-up on a track in Centennial, Colorado, when I'm telling people we need to go get on the track and do some strides. And somehow, out of nowhere, I am surrounded by a chorus of deacon R's. Do you mean striders? No, that is not what I meant. I don't know what that is, and I don't want to. Okay, we do striders all the time. Who wants to do some striders with me? And I'm like, get that word. What's that word? What's that word? And maybe some people actually call them striders, but I don't care. In my brain, that it's an accelerator. It is a stride. It is an accelerator, or it is a stride, a controlled acceleration to 5K pace, no faster. This is not a sprint held for a few seconds, followed by an immediate and controlled deceleration back down to a jog. Start to finish takes about 30 seconds. That is an accelerator, and I was nearly called them decelerators because the magic of that workout is a neuromuscular stimulus that comes in the deceleration. Not the fast part, but I can never convince anyone of that. So, and as a coach, just so I would never again have to have that deacon R showing up because I can't tell my clients off any more than I can the deacon in my church when my dad's standing right there. He's the deacon. Spoiler alert. But yeah, it drives me absolutely insane. So it came to this. To start, and also confuse people, because a lot of times it's not odd, and it's actually quite good, when you're fit enough that we can toss an accelerator in the middle of an easy effort run. It's, again, we get the benefits of that neurological stimulus, that leads to speed, but if you do it in a controlled manner, it can be a very good thing. If you get excited because you think faster is better, and there's no way I can decouple that out your brain, it's a real good way to jump your miles. So, when I would have people do accelerators at the end of the workout, and when we kind of got to the point of aerobic fitness where you could do those accelerators and recover so that you can, the rest of your run would be a jog, right? So if you're starting out after 140, sometimes just those 2 minutes of accelerators can be enough that your heart rate's so high you can't get it back down, and then you just turn the rest of your run effectively into a tempo run at a much slower pace. It's useless. So when that happens, it's like, okay, we need to wait on this, put the accelerator at the end. But then people would get confused. Coach MK, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh my God. And I love it that you guys turn into robots that do exactly what you're told, and that ups my game. I have to be that much more clear about what I need you to do and what I expect from you. So I just, after time, like we're gonna do, we're gonna do stride sandwich. Oh my God, what's that? Oh my God, okay, where do my accelerators go? Where do my accelerators go? And it drove me insane. So I brought the word stride back and was like, here's what's gonna happen. You gotta stride. If it's in the middle of a workout, it's a stride. One stride, singular. Kind of like chaos, singular, always. If we're going at the end of a run, it's an accelerator, full stop. And somehow that ended the chatter. And as soon as people wrapped their brain around it, they knew it was the same thing. It depended on the placement. When I would have a workout like a stride sandwich, they got it. Yay! That reinforces the fact that the strides are actually in the middle of the workout, as opposed to go do an easy effort run and with some accelerators, you know exactly where those accelerators go, because accelerators always go at the end of a run. If it was in the middle of a run, I would call it a stride sandwich. Yay! So that's a very long story about like why I started making things up, just so I would never again have to hear the Deacon R that offended my little ears so badly as a child. Because whatever goes through your head when you hear me drop an F-bomb or say something like, I don't know shit, and it just kind of slips out my mouth and you're like, ow, I'm so offended. That is how I feel when I hear a Deacon R. It doesn't belong in the word. You stuck an R in for what? It didn't change anything. It just made me really mad. That's how you feel about profanity. That is how I feel about the Deacon R. So tell that story to get my heart rate nice and high, because it is effing cold today, y'all. It is 29 degrees. And I would rather sit here and talk about my damaged childhood and do this horrifying strength series than go out there and run, even though I only have about like 30 minutes I can do it before I have to get on with the rest of my day. But that aside, here we go. God. That's how upset I get about the Deacon R, y'all. My heart rate's at 120. Like, don't want to hear it. If you're doing the series with me, we're about to get started. Grab a big loop, tight one. Now remember, the key to this series, these are small moves. Bigger is not better. Control is what we want at all times. It might seem like I'm out of control, but that's only when I'm speaking. Everything else I do, I assure you, is quite intentional, measured, and controlled, especially my strength moves. So, 2 fists in between the arches of your foot. That should translate to roughly 2 fists between your knees, right? Roughly, not exactly, but roughly, right? So if ever there's a doubt, that's a good double check, but don't stress out about it. What matters is this: your knees are above your ankles. That's it. Knees are not out here. We're going to gently press them out. If you are feeling this in your knees, check you could be sickling your feet. What I'm doing right now, that is a sickle. When you're pressing your weight between your heel and the outside of your foot, that's sickling. And we don't want to do that. We want to distribute the weight between the ball of your foot, the heel of your foot, with that little bitty pinky toe there for balance, with your knees directly on top of the ankles. If you're going to go crazy with worrying about something, go crazy worrying about that, or whatever it is I'm going to bring up next in December, because this is terrible, right? Yay, you! Lift, stand, shake, start. Tiny moves. Yay for all the texts. I forgot to turn the notifications off. Sorry, y'all. 15 seconds. You can do anything for 15 seconds. I'm real excited. This is the first time I've not had to break in the first minute. Oh. Okay. Ugh, that just hurts, man. My feelings and my booty. So, 3, 2, 1. Jesus. Okay. If you check my Strava and you see something short, it's probably me doing strength. I just don't have the patience or frankly the time to go back through and rename every single short workout. Desk Series 1, Desk Series 5, Desk Series number 97, or whatever. If you're watching me on Twitch, you know what it is. Heart rate's at 135. This is as hard on my body as an easy effort run is right now, which is exactly what we're going for. Woo! That is awful. Why y'all work with me? I'm terrible. That is the worst. You paid for this, but not for Twitch. Okay, it's 10 o'clock. I'm gonna check the chat. Respond, I see someone saying hi, but my vision is so bad I can't quite see it from there. I've reached my daily goal now that I did strength. Yay me. So I will be back in a few hours to do another round of this. Yay! And if you're one of those, if we find out that the Deacon is actually a speech impediment, I apologize. Yeah. Yes, you should wear the heart rate monitor, Martini Monsters. I'm telling you, man, this stuff is hard. This is why, like, when they were asking us about, like, what kind of data points they need, I'm like, what I need is something that, like, that is objective. Because if you ask any of my clients, that's why I make them wear heart rate monitors, man. You ask them, was that hard? They're like, could have gone harder. I'm like, that does not de facto easy make. So how are you feeling? And I think I don't know if it's, like, specifically a woman thing. I don't want to turn this into like a feminist issue. Because, you know, dudes are conditioned to be hard as well, and you're not allowed to say, like, that really hurt and that was really awful unless you're bragging about the workout you just did. But there's definitely a culture of it, so, which makes it really hard to do my job. I'm like, y'all just did this workout. How do you feel? Okay. It was terrible while I was doing it, but I'm okay now. I'm like, are you fatigued? I don't know, so I can tell you right now, if I go for a run, my glutes are fatigued. They're not actively sore. It is not killing me to sit. It is not killing me to do what I just did. But I know because I did it first, I'm going to tire a whole lot faster on that run, and I'm going to go way slower. I don't care about that because it's effing cold today, and I kind of don't really want to go out anyway. That said, when I'm trying to do this with my clients, I'm like, how is that run? I got no way of knowing what's true or not, because the Borg scale, the rate of perceived exertion, does not in any way match reality. There is zero correlation, and I think a lot of that's just psychological, a lot of it's conditioning, a lot of it's like thinking that people expecting a coach to be like, you need to work harder, you're such a wuss, and I'm like, that is stupid. Like, everybody works incredibly hard, insanely hard. I'm not here to make you work harder, I'm here to make you work smarter. I'm here to help you work daily. You can't give, I just sound like I have an abundance of energy. I'm not like this all the time. I'm very careful about when I let the cat out the bag. So when you think of it that way, that is why I'm able to be this energetic all the time. And that's kind of how we need to think about our running. So yeah, all these guys, take a look at Martini Monsters. If you don't follow her, you should. She's fantastic. She is younger than me, cuter than me, and a hell of a lot stronger than me. She is a lifter and a gamer, and she is fierce. She's who I wish I could have been when I was 33. So she has been doing some of my moves. She's also dating a dude that is literally so strong he can bench press her and their coffee table at the same time. So to that effect, when they do these workouts, I was like, would you mind just showing my runners, like, this stuff is hard. They do these hard workouts, and they feel bad about, I'll call her right back. They do these hard workouts, and my runners feel kind of bad about themselves because they're like, that was really hard. That really hurt. Things shouldn't hurt anymore. And I'm like, pain never goes away. You just learn to deal with it and work through it. I mean, granted, the first miles of a marathon don't need to hurt. You need to know how and when to hurt and how to hurt smart. But generally speaking, you never train the pain away. It just doesn't work that way. You're able to do more work at the same effort level. That's what we're going for. So people freak out when they do these and they're like, I had to stand up and I had to shake. I'm like, so do I. So I'm trying to be more open about it because people have no idea what to expect. If they can't hold that squat for 3 minutes on the first try, they get really discouraged. So I'm recruiting Martini Monsters. I'm recruiting Uber Cruiser. I'm probably going to run. I might even reach out to Ben Rice and toss it out in the Discord and say, hey, fitness streamers, would someone please try this horrifying 3-minute routine and show my people that they are not too old and they are not too weak. This is hard. And even for someone that can bench press, deadlift, like literally 1,000 pounds, power lifters. So I love making power lifters cry to show my runners, y'all ain't as bad off as you think you are. What you lack is perspective. But you are all coached and loved and winning at life. Yay! Yeah, you are a girl. That is a glowing review. I think you're freaking fantastic. Yeah, where'd that heart rate monitor? Yay, I'm glad you're killed. Yay, my ass hurts too, Heather Mooney. Yay. Yeah. Women do follow coaches play more than a guy does. Yeah, guys are the worst. Don't get me started on male runners. They all, it's this bad. Whenever I'm working with people, I have to be like, okay, this is what is expected. If you want to overachieve, this is what overachieving looks like. Do not run faster than the paces that I set. Do not do you may do additional sets, but you may not extend. So it's like if I say, do this for 1 minute, I did 3. Like, why? You don't need to halt. Like, you have gone beyond the point of diminishing returns into no man's land for no good reason. Like, 1 minute is plenty in each move. The most I will ever have anyone do is 2. So I'll have people, I'll say, let's do 1 set 3 times. And they're like, I just did 3 minutes at each. And I'm like, why? That did no one any good. But the body is hard. Everyone wants to overachieve and no one wants to prove that they're soft. So there you go. You are not soft. Neither is Martini Monsters. And I cannot wait to show you how strong you actually are when you get to watch her and her big strong boyfriend suffer super hard with their heart rate monitors, crying about how much this hurts when they're doing this 3-minute series later tonight. I'm gonna coordinate with them because y'all don't forget, Martini Monsters, I'm kind of old and I'm new to this Twitch thing and I really don't know what the F I'm doing most of the time. So I want to try to host you on my channel. I know you told me how to do that. I'm gonna go practice at some point later today. But we coordinate ahead of time. I know when you're doing it just so I can broadcast out to my runners and show them, hey, look, this is actually legit terrible. Sweet. So there you go, everybody. Hearing is harder. Hearing is terrible. To overachievers, peaking and periodization is a thing. Durations are deliberate. Don't mess with them. It's true. It's totally true. This guy, by the way, is super duper smart. He's getting a PhD in super duper smart shit. I think that's literally what it's called, super duper smart shit, from a top school. So I think everyone tries to stay really private here, except for me. So there you go. I'm Coach MK. Uber Cruiser is smarter than you, and he's telling you too. And he's smarter than me, to be fair. But we're all telling you, do what's written. If you want to overachieve, I have to make it really clear, but dudes are the worst when it comes to running. I tell them to run 7s. I ran 6:30. Well, what you did was you just messed up your Friday workout. Thanks. Now I gotta So, there's that. Yeah, he's getting a second master's. Oh, I'm sorry. A second master's, not a PhD. It's still hella work. Hashtag hella work. Oh, speaking of hella work, I gotta go make some phone calls and go for a run before the new couch arrives. Woo! Mwah! See you guys in a few hours. Worst case scenario, I will see you later tonight.